Hey guys, Josh here. I've got Chris and Thomas with me, and we are here to talk about the sports card and collectible show that will be in the Jacksonville Mall on March 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
So welcome, Tom. Good to have you here. I know that last week I was on my way out of town and I saw that my friend Mark Watkins was going to be at your show in Jacksonville. So I gave you a call real quick to kind of find out if you had any available tables. And you did have a couple left. So we were able to grab one up and we're super excited. So we thought, why not go ahead and ask you some questions and kind of see what the sports card show is all about, and just kind of have a good conversation and let people know what they can expect when they come to the Jacksonville Mall. So you want to kind of just let us know kind of the general overview of the show?
Sure, absolutely, guys. First, let me say thanks for having me here. This is great. I love the networking. I'm glad you reached out. I look forward to having you at the show. Jacksonville Mall is Friday the 3rd through Sunday the 5th. It's a 3-day event, right? So actually, this is our 3rd year anniversary. Actually, we're starting the 4th year now. So I'll give you a little bit of what to expect. And then what I would like to do is just give you a little bit of history of it, okay?
Sounds good.
We've got 58 tables set up throughout the mall, the main entrance, center court, food court, where everybody likes to go, and then, of course, down by Barnes & Noble, right? 58 tables spread out. It's a diversity of a little bit of everything, cards, collectibles. I get people asking, what can I bring? Anything collectible within reason, so it doesn't break the law, so cards, collectibles, Funko, comics, toys, antique toys. We got some folks that I enjoy looking at their displays of the stuff they bring, guys. So what can you expect, man? You can expect a great time, a 3-day event. Come out multiple days if you can. I know you guys are going to be there Saturday. I think you're going to love it. I think after 3 years of doing this, I think great relationship with them all. They're a great host, and I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Awesome. So as far as hours are concerned, basically the show runs the same time as the mall hours, correct?
Yes, sir. Now, that's the beauty about being at the mall. We get to sit there during mall hours. The mall opens at 10 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and it doesn't close until 9 p.m., which means we get to interact with our customers. And if most folks are working, they're coming in later, you just got a longer time to be there to allow people to come see at different hours. So I really enjoy the flexibility that we have at the mall. And then on Sunday, it's 12 to 6. So I think that's the advantage here over a one-day show is, one-day shows typically 9 to 4. Here we have 3 days at mall hours. So I think that works out better for us.
Yeah. And everybody loves the mall. So, there's tons of foot traffic going through there. I know anytime we go to Jacksonville Mall, it's always busy. So
I would tell you this. I have folks that come in from Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham that set up and said, man, this is the best mall in North Carolina. They've set up at many malls and said, I've never, seen a mall with this much foot traffic coming through here all 3 days. And so it's hit or miss. There's a lot going on in our lives, but, you sit there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're busy all day long. There's a lot of traffic coming through that mall, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome. Yeah, we like a lot of foot traffic. It helps with the channel, and it helps us move our merchandise as well, because it costs money to make money. So you got to sell stuff so you can buy more stuff.
That's how it works.
The life of a collector.
It's a beautiful thing. Let me touch on a couple of things. It's about networking and branding. So I love what you guys are doing. Brothers Boyd, man, that's catchy. That's really cool. I like that. I like what you guys are doing. That's why I can't wait to see your setup. And I'm glad I've kind of joined, and I hope we can continue this relationship moving forward. Kind of glad we found each other because we're somewhat in the same industry of collectibles, right? So branding and promoting, networking, and you get your name out there. You grip and grin, get your cards, let people know where you're at. You start driving that traffic. And look, at a very low cost, high traffic area, and what you're doing is very popular. So I can only see you growing.
Absolutely. We
Yes.
appreciate that. Yeah. And one thing we've learned really quickly, we started this last May. It is we're babies in this YouTube channel industry and working conventions is networking is the key. I mean, we have met so many people in such a short amount of time, and I have yet to meet anybody who is not a friendly face, and that's one of the
Yes, sir.
greatest about this.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I absolutely agree. Now, look, earlier I mentioned I wanted to give you a little history of the show, if that's okay.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I got to be honest, brother. I was tired of driving to Raleigh. Couple hours, hotel fees, table fees, and I take a loss. I break even, and I had a great time. But at the end of the day, I'm just the travel. I said, man, I think I can just do it better by myself. Now, I used to own Card Crazy retail shop years ago. I did shows years ago, 15 years ago. And I said, well, I'm just going to start doing shows again. And then COVID hit. And then as soon as the mall opened up, that was my first, appointment. Let me go talk to the mall. And they were glad to have us because no one else was setting up. We followed their protocols. And as soon as it was clear, we set up. And it just took off. Everybody loved it. We had a great turnout over the weekend. It was 3 years ago. This March weekend was the first weekend in March. And everybody asked, when are we doing another one? When are we doing another one? And then I said, okay, I set up a schedule. We'll do another one. Well, it kind of led to folks saying, hey, man, thanks for stepping up, and setting these up. And that means a lot. I get people texting me every now and then, appreciate everything you're doing. I try and keep a low cost, create a good environment, low cost event. So, we can all maximize that experience. I got a lot of requests to go to Wilmington. Well, I set up Wilmington. Once again, that was a hit. I'm in Goldsboro. I was in Fayetteville last year. That did well. I think there is a market for collectible shows. What I would like to do is more combine card comic shows. I know there are Comic Cons here and there. But as we build relationships, I would really like to start seeing if we could do more larger shows where you combine the two, if that makes sense.
Oh, it absolutely makes sense because I think we're starving over on this East Coast for more comic book conventions and that sort.
Right.
I like to call them pop culture conventions because
Sure.
I mean you're more into the comics, the cosplay, the Pokemon, the Magic the Gathering, all those things. And it just seems like you said, if you want to go to one, you've got to drive all the way to Raleigh or Winston-Salem or somewhere like that. And the land is fertile right here in Eastern North Carolina for where people who want to attend these things. So I know that we have had much success just in the few couple of shows that we've done around here with people saying thank you for being here. And
that's right.
So yeah, absolutely. Just kind of give us an idea. I know you've pretty close, or you probably have all your tables sold now. Give us kind of a breakdown, of what we can expect as far as like sports cards / collectible.
Sure.
What's that kind
Sure.
of?
My phone's been ringing off the hook. I have 5 people on an alternate list. I've actually, since we spoke, I have added a few more tables. So we have 58 total. So I've reduced my footprint to give a couple other folks that have never set up an opportunity to come join us. And then I still have additional folks. So this is probably the largest amount of names that I have on a list that I've had in 3 years. For the show. And this is absolutely the most tables. We usually put about 44 in the mall, but they've been able to open up and expand and add some tables. So this will be the largest show we got. When you come through the main entrance, now you can come through Barnes and Noble. Actually, you can come through almost any entrance. The back entrance, I think Belk's, Barnes and Noble. So there's multiple ways to come in. If you come through the main entrance, there's going to be a guy right up front with 6 tables of Hot Wheels. I mean, this guy's got it all. He loves it. He only does a few of my shows a year, but he's bringing the house of Hot Wheels. Next to him is going to be a guy with some old toys, vintage toys, just a wide variety. of collectibles. And then there'll be a guy with some cards. Then you get into center court, there'll be some Funko Pops. Just at the point. The point as you get into center court, you're going to see all these tables. And the first ones you're going to come up to is going to be a guy that has some toys and Funko Pops. Then you're going to have a card guy that does toys and cards. Then you're going to have a Pokemon guy that does not toys, but he does Pokemon and cards. And he'll have, a display of 6 tables right across center court. Then you'll have card guys, toy, comics. So center court's going to be full. As you make your way down towards the food court, you're going to see another table of cards. And as you get closer to where I'm at, you're going to have a guy that's going to have a little bit of Pokemon, toys, and cards. And then I'll have my cards. I primarily just do cards. And then we'll have a few other folks with cards and probably some Pokemon and toys. If I had to put a percent on it, and I haven't really looked at it in that detail yet, I would say it's probably about a 60-40 split. About 60% is going to be cards and 40% is going to be other collectibles.
Awesome. Sounds like a little bit of something for everybody. So,
That's why the Pokemon guy took Gotta Catch 'Em All to new heights. Tables worth of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, well, we're excited. I've already had some people. I got some friends that they have some kids and they love Funko Pops, and they missed a show we did recently, and they were like, "When's the next one?" And I posted that we were going to be at yours, and the first thing out of their mouth, "Are they going to have Funko Pops there?" I said, well, I know I have some, but I'm sure there will be more people there as well. So
my son has my son's 12, and he does every show with me. We're going to be in Virginia Beach this weekend doing their show. The promoters up there, we have mutual respect. They've done mine, I do theirs from time to time. So we're going up tomorrow to spend a weekend and do the Virginia Beach show. But my son has his collection of Pokemon and Funkos. I just started with some Funkos. I've got one here.
Yeah,
this is Ozark, Ruth Langmore.
Okay.
And then I've got Otani. These were gifts, by the way, Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
So I got baseball and Strasburg. So I think those are the only 3 that I have in my collection of Funkos. But my kid has a lot more, and he's into quite a few things. So I can't keep up with him.
Yeah. Josh and I have quite a few. If we could show you this room we're in right now, this is Josh's room. I'm surrounded by Funko Pops and different figures and things like that.
So, I mean, you only got one table at the show, right?
Yeah. Well, this is not the stuff for sale.
Yeah.
This is my personal collection.
Oh, I love it. Yes. I respect and love that. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
My wife, and I'm trying to get her to give me a room. Right now, she's giving me one shelf in the house. And she said, when that is full, that's all you get right now. And I'm like, I'm gonna need my own room. Yeah. So I've been looking into maybe building to go in my backyard to make a second studio / my man cave type thing.
I love it. So, yep, we all should have those. I'm in my office now, but I want to share a quick story with you.
Awesome.
So, in the late 70s, that's right. In the late 70s, as a young kid, I made a trade with a childhood friend of mine. I traded my comics for his baseball cards. And it was a stack of comics and it was a stack of cards. And I remember this very vividly because he had an old chest. And he opened up his chest and it was full of cards and comics. And this is in the 70s. Well, we went different ways, but I ran into him a few years back. I was in Greenville and he came through the door at the show and we had that conversation. Now, his memory is not as good as mine. And I told him, I said, look, man, I traded you my cards. I traded you my comics for cards when we were kids back in like 77, right? 1977, 78 time frame. Like I said, he didn't really recall all, but I do recall. And I think he made out a lot better on that deal than I did. But he still collects today, by the way.
Cool.
And he's over in Tarboro. I grew up in Tarboro, so that's about 2 hours from where I'm at now. I'm in Jacksonville, if you didn't know that.
Okay. Yep. And we're New Bern based. We both live here in New Bern. So getting to Jacksonville is not an issue for us. Goldsboro's close, Wilmington's close. We actually have a show in Wilmington on March the 11th. So we got 3 shows right in a row. We're gonna do your show, and then 2 more after that. So
nice.
So yeah, and we do a lot of comics. Obviously for the channel, we read a lot of comics. And then if we decide, hey, these aren't keepers, we'll put them up for sale.
Okay.
So we'll be there with plenty of comics, and we're excited for that. One of the cool things about your show too, being in the mall, is one of the things we run into a lot of times with conventions and stuff. We have a hard time finding somewhere to eat, because if you're in a little W in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to find food. But no problem at the Jacksonville Mall.
Just remember, Chick-fil-A is not open on Sunday now.
Yeah, that's okay. There's plenty of other restaurants.
I'm set up right next to Chick-fil-A, so my kid and I, we eat there Friday and Saturday.
So you're going to be smelling that all day long.
That's right. Yes, sir. Hopefully I'm busy. All right. Well, look, my collection of comics is very small, but I wanted to share something with you, because if I see them, I'll buy them. Right, and they're Marine Corps comics. I'm a retired Marine, so when I see not Army, Navy, just Marines, right? I know they have different military comics, right? This is the United States Marines, and you got Marines in action, right? And then you've got Marines in battle.
Okay,
I think 1950s maybe. I'm not sure. So I have a stack of these. If you run into some Marine Corps comics, I'll buy them. I usually pick them up anytime I see them to add to my collection, even if it's a duplicate. Some I have 2 or 3 of the same ones, but I do enjoy them. It's a nice piece of collecting, nice piece of military, not necessarily history, but just collectible stuff that ties into my military experience and I guess I have a problem with collecting stuff.
Hey, I don't call it a problem. I call it a lifestyle. That's,
yes, sir.
That's what we do. We collect.
Right.
We'll keep our eyes open, because we do a lot of shows, and we're doing Fayetteville in April, and that is a huge show, and there will be tons of comic vendors there.
Is that at the what's the name of the place it's located?
The Crown Coliseum.
The Crown.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, so that's nice. That's gonna be a nice show. I was hoping to try and do a show in Fayetteville, the place that we used before they got sold. So then, as I tried to work and locate other venues, it was just not cost effective for what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, that Fayetteville one's a gigantic one, but we enjoy that one. That's kind of where we got our cut our teeth last year. We kind of did our first convention walkthrough. So one of the things we'll probably do on Saturday morning when we'll get there pretty early and go ahead and get set up. We'll probably walk around and do like a video. We'll go live on either YouTube or Facebook and give people some ideas of like, hey, come check out all these vendors right here. They're going to be here. We usually like to do that once we get set up and give everybody an idea of what they can expect as well from there. But this video is going to help a lot too. We really enjoy doing these, and we, it kind of looked like this was something that nobody was doing. So we thought, why not contact promoters and say, hey, you want to get your word out? Let's do it this way.
Well, look, brother, let me tell you, I think you're doing it right. You look seasoned. I know you cut your teeth back in Fayetteville last year, man, but you look good. You sound good. I think, I like the branding. I like the logo. I mean, just from the first time we spoke, Chris, on the phone, I was like, man, I really like what these guys are doing. I'm surprised it took 3 years for me to link up with them. So keep up the good work.
Absolutely. Yes. I appreciate it. And again, that's what you're talking about, networking and things like that. And like I said, we're meeting new people, and we look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. We can do Goldsboro, we can do Wilmington, we'll go over wherever you go, because we can travel to those pretty easy. So
Eastern North Carolina, man. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on a rotational basis.
Yeah.
It's a rotational basis. I'll tell you, from a collector standpoint or a vendor standpoint, is you don't want to saturate your area. So I don't want to show every month in Jacksonville. I think it needs to be 3 to 4 months apart. Let people save a little money. Let people get something new in. Let them see what you got new. When we come back and see each other, they're going to be glad to see you in 3 months. Not, hey, I just saw you last month. So from a business perspective, I think it's great to spread it out. And that's what I've done, is every 3 to 4 months. But what you have is, we have Jacksonville followed right back by Goldsboro the next month, and then Wilmington in May. So that's the rotation. So then we'll go right back to Jacksonville, back to Wilmington, back to May. So if you look at it on a schedule calendar year, you're looking about 3 months before you come back to that location. And I may add another venue over this year. We'll see how it goes. You know, I'm still, like I said, I just completed year 3. But one more thing I want to say, man, vendors and dealers. I don't like the word dealer. I cut it from my vocabulary. It just sounds like a negative connotation. It's like, well, no, I don't like dealer. I say vendors. We have an event. You're going to be a vendor at an event. So a lot of folks still use that term, dealers, but it's not something I use. I refer to everyone as a vendor at an event. And we network, we work together, we build friendships and relationships.
Right,
Awesome.
right. They
Yes.
become a family. I mean,
Yes.
we've learned that real fast. So, you know, we're
Yes, sir.
very excited. We thank you so much for coming up here and doing this. We will we're gonna love putting this out, letting people know, hey, we're coming to Jacksonville March 3rd through 5th. Regular mall hours 10 to 9. So that means you got all day. So go to work on Monday through Thursday and make some money so you can come spend it all
Yes, sir.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
If we don't have it there, then you probably are not looking for it, because we got everybody in the family covered. If dad collects sports cards, they're going to be there. If the kids love Funko Pops, they're going to be there. If you collect comic books, they're going to be there. I even somewhere in my pile have a couple of old Boba Fett collectible guns from like the early 80s, maybe 90s. And I think I might have some Cabbage Patch Kids, to be honest with you, and they're collectibles too.
Yep.
So they were actually my wife's growing up. So we're super excited for this. You got no excuse. You go to the mall on the weekends anyway. So make sure you guys come out and help out these great vendors and this great show. And we're gonna end this now. And we thank you, Tom. And until
My pleasure, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else you want to say before we go off? Anything else?
You nailed it, guys. It's Friday the 3rd through Sunday the 5th, mall hours. Come out and see us. Thanks for having me on the show. My pleasure, guys. It's been awesome, and hope we can do it again sometime.
Awesome.
Yep,
Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you. And we will
Yes.
see you in the shop.
Thanks.